Hey, Patrick, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us on the Dave Mahoney Morning Show. It seems, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but a lot of really good stuff is happening for you. You just had a baby daughter like 4 weeks ago, right? You got a album coming out in a couple of months. You got the big tour coming up this summer. How are things feeling for you this year in 2022?
Much better than last year, but
Yeah, hear that.
um, yeah, we did. My wife Michelle and I just had a daughter. It's my second kid. Michelle's third. We named her Willie after my grandmother, whose name was Willie, not short for anything,
Just Willie. I like that.
just Willie. Yeah. My grandmother hated her name, so hopefully my daughter doesn't. But
As a tribute, I'm
yeah,
gonna give you a name that my grandmother hated. Great.
as a tribute, I'm going to give you a name that my grandmother despised.
Uh, so congratulations on that. As a dad of three with a fourth on the way in just a couple of weeks myself, I can
Congrats.
understand the thought of like going out on tour for like 32
Yeah.
dates, which you guys have planned. Your wife cool with the idea of you being like, all right, we're back. We got to hit the road.
Well, she's a musician as well, and I mean, it's not. It's a little bit different. I mean, I can afford a nanny and my own bus, and it's luxurious, honestly. So I'll probably bring the kids out for a couple of the days, here and there. But that said, my son who's 3.5, he's in that zone where like if I leave the house in certain days, like he's just gone for like an hour, just losing his mind, missing me. So yeah, I try not to think about it. You know what I mean? But you know, I spoil him whenever. I spoil him all the time. So
Yeah, and I mean, like you being able to go out on the road and let him experience. I mean, it's not. I don't know how much of it he grasps at 3.5. Right, I've got a daughter that's about that age as well. But I'm sure that one day he'll look back and go, "Man, that was actually really cool. Like Dad was out on the road, and I was getting to pal along to a couple of the dates. That's a pretty cool little bonding experience for father and son."
well, hopefully he's obsessed with this annoying guy, Blippi, and
Oh, I know all about Blippi.
I'm like the guy. He's just a genius, really. But yeah, he's my son's created a checklist based on this of all the children's museums he wants to see. So I think we're starting the tour in Vegas to just rehearsal, and that seems like Blippi, for one reason or the other, is spending a lot of time in Vegas.
Blippi actually lives in Las Vegas. I can't believe that this interview has turned into an interview about Blippi, but we live in Las Vegas as well, and Blippi lives here and spends a lot of time at the Discovery Children's Museum. So let me know if you need
That's
any
where
tips for
we're,
that.
that's where we're gonna go. I want
Yep.
to try to get. I was like, hey, my son's name's Reese. He's like, hey, Reese, do you want to meet Blippi? And he's just like, no. He got really serious. Like he's just too nervous. He wouldn't be
Don't
able
meet
to
your
handle
heroes, man. Yeah, it'll mess it up.
it. Exactly.
So obviously, Wild Child out now, very exciting. I think this may be, if not my favorite, definitely top five Black Key songs of all time for me. You guys did a great job.
Thanks, man. I when we first started working on this tune, like we did the music first, and we really kind of were. It was a song that we couldn't like. We kept bringing it up in the studio, like after we'd finish a song, we would pull this one up and add something to it, move something around, and it was the thing. I was like, man, if we can figure this thing out, it's gonna be the single. And Dan's like, I don't know. And then we had our friend Greg Cartwright, who's in a band called the Oblivions. We asked him if he would come over to the studio one day, along with another guy named Angelo, who's a pretty big producer songwriter in Nashville. And we asked for a little bit of help on a couple songs, and we played this idea for them that was pretty much musically totally formulated. And we decided to just co-write the song with those guys right then, and we knocked it out in a couple hours. And after that, like it was pretty clear to me and Dan that it was going to be the first song we put out.
Well, Dropout Boogie is coming out on May 13th. This year, 2022, like I mentioned, you guys have 32 dates that are coming up, kicking off in Las Vegas and rounding things out in Dallas, Texas, but all over the United States for this one, which is very exciting. But it's the 20th anniversary of the Black Keys. Is this something that you envisioned like all these years ago when you guys started the band? And do you think this would be where you're talking about multiple decades now of doing music together?
No, I mean, because none of the bands I really grew up listening to had made it that long. So even when we started the band in 2002, like I'm trying to think like what bands I've been listening to that have been around. The Rolling Stones, obviously, but you know, um,
Puddle of
we were
Mud,
like
big year for them in 2002.
Puddle of Mud, yeah, Puddle of Mud, yeah, great bands like Puddle of Mud. We we're late bloomers though, you know. It's like
Sure.
we didn't have like a hit album or a song on the radio really until our 8th year as a band. So it's kind of like, you know, it was cool because we paid all these dues, and so when it started happening for us, like we really could appreciate it. And then when we went through our, you know, your classic downfall, like where you just turned like spoiled brats, which we did around 2015, 2014, we still like could at least remember like, oh yeah, this, we can't take this for granted. We should just chill out for a minute and do our own thing. So we didn't work together 2016 or 2017, and when we kind of started spending more time together in 2018, we really started really getting along better than we ever had. And honestly, like making this record was so much fun. It was like the most fun I've ever had working with Dan, and we're honestly closer now than we ever have been. So it's like, you know, these relationships, like, you know, being in a band is hard, and there's definitely been times when like we both have been sick of each other. But I mean, I feel like at this point, I can't see that happening anytime soon, because like if Dan doesn't want to work, all he has to do is say, "Hey man, this is chill," and that type of communication is usually all it takes, you know. But when you first start getting like success after 8 years of not really having much of it, you want to take every single opportunity that you get, and that's kind of what resulted in us like burning out essentially.
Do you think it's? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, Dave and I, we've been partners for about the same time, about almost 20 years, been friends for that long. Do you find it to be easier or harder when it's just two? There's, you know, lots of bands, lots of shows out there that have a lot of input, but when it's just you and one other person, do you think that's easier or harder in the long run?
Well, I don't know because I've never been, you know, in a band with anybody else, but I think it would be easier, especially once you get to the point where, like, you know, like there's different people that come into the fold. Like Dan will make someone a friend that like he'll be close with, and you know, you basically just have to let your partner like be themselves, you know, which a lot of people have trouble with that. But like, you know, it's like I've learned that like it's best. Dan and I work best if we're supportive of each other rather than competitive with each other. So, you know, but we both have brothers and stuff. You know, we're both pretty good at compromising and all that. So
yeah, I feel like that's good relationship advice. That's good sibling advice, and that's good bandmate advice, right? Like if you're trying to force the other person to be something for you, it's going to be pretty short lived.
It ain't going to work. Yeah, you know, I think that the best advice I have, like musically, about collaborating, because I think that it's a unique thing. Like what you guys are doing is similar to, you know, it's very few like kind of professional like arts where you're really forced to collaborate on the creative aspect of it, you know. And so, you know, what music is cool at like that. And there's some people that's really bad at it, at collaborating, you know, and they want to like take the ball home all the time. And I think that the trick to success is knowing when someone else has a good idea, and not being afraid to support it. And so like that's like the kind of situation here is like with Wild Child, this is the thing where it's like this is a song that like usually the vocals and lyrics are something that's kind of left up to Dan to work on, and he wasn't sure how to start it. And the fact that he was like, we should call my friend Greg to come in and help, like that was like a big breakthrough kind of for us. It was like, yeah, okay, let's get the right dude in here to collaborate with us rather than like just kick it down because we don't see the light. And like it just took 2 seconds of someone else understanding it, and then it inspired Dan to like finish the song, and it was cool, you know. And I think that's what's exciting and fun about this record, was why it was the most fun to make, was that after 20 years of doing this, you know, I felt like, oh, this is the first time like collaborating really that way. And there's so many musicians that we know that like we could do this with now, and it's cool.
Yeah, you just find interesting ways to evolve even after 20 years. You know, introducing new things really helps sometimes. Again, Dropout Boogie coming out May 13th. Wild Child is out now. One final question for you. You guys are actually on the cover for Dropout Boogie, which I believe is the first time that you guys have done that since the very beginning. But one thing I noticed is that you're smoking cigars. Mahoney and I, big cigar fans as well. Any particular type of cigars? Are you in fact a cigar smoker, or was that just a prop?
I smoke cigars, and I got Dan on the cigar tip too. He was a very anti-tobacco until he went very pro weed, and then we both got COVID making this record, and he stopped wanting to inhale smoke after that. It was fucked his lungs up. But I and I found out that I had COVID because I was smoking a cigar and I stopped being able to smell it.
Wow.
It was
What a
like,
revelation.
oh, shit. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I have COVID. I smoke Padron 4000 Naturals mostly is what I just
Those
like.
are Mahoney's got a closet full of those.
We're Padron Natural 6000 guys, or when we're fancy going the 1926s, but have never had a bad Padron. Love hearing that. That is one of the best sticks out there, and a guy who knows sticks on the drums. So I mean that hell of an endorsement right there.
Yeah, I also I had this thing once we were opening for Radiohead, and I flew into, I think it was Montreal. Anyway, my bag got lost, and I lost all my clothes. And we had play a show opening for Radiohead. This is like 2006. So I went to the mall, and I was like, you know what? From this moment forward, I'm only wearing clothes that you can buy at any mall. I don't need to have special clothes. So I basically started wearing, clothes you could buy at J. Crew, just because fuck it. And
right.
I need my cigar to be just like that. I want to be able to find it.
Yep. So, available and good and consistent, man. That's the key to a good cigar, just like it is for good clothes. Patrick, great talking to you, man. So much fun catching up. Again, congratulations on all the great things happening in your life. Can't wait for the new album drop out.
Hey, congrats on the upcoming Babe. And when's the due date?
April 5th. So yeah, just around the corner.
All right, man. Cool. Well, I hope to see you guys in Vegas. And if you see Blippi, tell him to come.
I'll kidnap Blippi. I'll bring him to the show. Good to talk, man. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Thank you.